Fred the Fireman by Kevin Black. A little over 40 years ago, in a little house in OK, Oklahoma, a hero was born, and his name was Fred. No last name, just Fred, and more than anything in the world, he wanted to be a fireman so he could save people. But that would require a lot of training and a test, and Fred was no good at test taking. So he did the only reasonable thing and went into the fires by himself, which led to him becoming a burn victim, and he can no longer grow hair anymore. That wasn't going to stop him. Even when a house collapses on him, he still somehow gets out alive. It's almost annoying because when you expect a heroic ending, but he just crawls out of the house with more burns than the time before. They tried stopping him at first when this all started, but around the fourth or fifth time something like this occurred, they just let him do it. At this point, it's just a crazy guy running inside burning houses. Don't get me wrong, I respect the guy, but he's only saved like 4 people in his entire fireman career. He is appreciated by the community, even though he looks like Mr. Clean's ugly burnt brother. His addiction has got so bad to the point where he can't be within the vicinity of a fire because he'll put it out. If you're going out by the campfire roasting marshmallows, he'll be there to put out your fun time. Aside from being ugly, Fred really does mean well, but he sometimes scares little kids or terrifies the neighborhood. Once they get to know him, they can look past the ugly mug of his and see how big of a heart he has. Before he got burnt up, he was actually a pretty good-looking guy. He was a perfect combo of kind and good-looking, but now he's just kind. Thankfully, when he went into the fires, he had amazing surgeons and scientists working on him, so he has no burn scars because the scientists created some sort of topical cream that makes his skin smooth and scarless. But he gets the scars back the next day by jumping in another fire. The cream doesn't cure hair loss, though. As ugly as Fred is, somehow he got married. Just to clarify, his wife is not real. She's only in his head. Fred gets hallucinations when the smoke gets inside of his lungs. I think it has something to do with the lack of oxygen going into his brain. I think he's just losing it day by day. Like one day, he tried to fight firemen because he thought that they were firemen, which is crazy because he wanted to be a fireman and now he really is a fireman. It's almost sad to see the thing that he wanted to become most, he then began to hate. Now in the present, he wanders the streets, ruining people's cookouts and campfires and causing havoc. However, some part of him is still there. He just needs to find it, so the people of the town decided to send him to a rehab center, a place pretty far away from OK, about 200 miles away, so it would be difficult for a crazy person to make his way back. But while he was there and they worked on his fears and weaknesses, ironically, Fred has always been a bad swimmer, so he's afraid of water, but not of fire. So they came up with a plan. They got their best psychiatrist on his case and put their theory to the test. They would make him love water but fear fire. If they made him hate fire, he would have a complete relapse and try to attack the fire again. As of right now, he's in a decent condition. They have made a lot of progress with him. He now doesn't think of fire all the time. Instead, he likes to swim. Instead, maybe a bit too much. But it's better than jumping in fires all the time. It took him 8 months in total to be clean of firefighting, but now he's ready to become civilized again and go back home. But the thing is, they don't want him to come back. They refuse to listen and believe that he has really changed. There's not much more he can do to convince them, but he's fine with that because he wants to start a new life and move away. So he sets off his way to Florida since there's nice beaches there. He figured he'd just live on the beach. Once he made his way over to Florida, he decided to decide the beach he'd stay on. When he finally decided, he made his way over there and chose Panama City Beach, which is where he happily lives now in peace. Fred had finally saved himself and lived the rest of his life in peace.